Yo, listen up, it's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. Hard way wrestling coming at you raw, bringing the heat, breaking every law. They drop the truth, no holds barred, talking smack, getting you hyped up hard, calling out the fakes, exposing the lies. Hard way wrestling taken by surprise. Hard way wrestling coming to your city. Nothing but realness, nothing but grit. Going down a gauntlet, making it mark. Hard way wrestling, straight from the heart.
One of them things where like a finger verification would be a tongue verification.
Welcome to Hard Way Wrestling bonus show, boys. Bonus show. No T-Bone Jones.
Boner Show.
The man is Boner Show. The man who's back. Guess who's back? Back again. I'm so white. God, I'm so white.
Frosty's back. Tell a
Frosty's
friend.
back. Frosty
Don't tell a friend.
Robble Wills. Frosty, what's going on with tell us what's going on with the Independent Rewind.
Just every week, nonstop, every Saturday, you get your hands at 12 o'clock on a brand new episode. Sometimes from on site at a wrestling show, sometimes in the studio with a guest. And who
Call
knows?
that a fucking wrestling show you guys go to at Love Drafts?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Was it bad?
Well, some of the show was all right, but the women's match,
It's independent wrestling. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't have a bunch of superstars on an independent wrestling program. Otherwise, the promoter's got to give up some money.
And listen here, thank God for independent wrestling. Keeps me employed.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That keeps you employed.
I'll never run out of content.
Do you think all right? Here's a quick question. If you weren't involved in independent wrestling, and when you don't wrestle as of now, you're retired, but
Right.
no one fucking retired.
Oh no, I do.
We got one coming. You and I got one coming. I just need to chop those titties. Anyway, if you weren't involved in independent wrestling, do you think you'd still eat hot dogs?
Yes.
Okay,
Listen, Sheets is the place to be. Just saying.
I know that independent wrestling is the hot spot for glizzies. I just know it. I just know it is. And any independent wrestling program, you can walk to a concession stand and get a well overcooked fucking hot dog
In water.
The ones you pick up and they shake it so it dries off and it just wobbles, but it doesn't break.
And then later on the show, you have a crappy match, and the promoter gets on the microphone and goes, "Hot dogs are now $2 for $1. $2 for $1."
I always like ATCW because I don't.
They pass the tray out.
I'm one of those guys that don't eat at the show because of I don't know why. I've never ate during sports, before sports. I don't know. It's just how it's been. When I'd go play hockey, wouldn't eat for 5 hours because I wouldn't eat before, or after, or during. So, and then they come around at the end of the night with like 37 things of foil full of hot dogs and hot dog buns, and the bun you soaked. It looks like Joey Chestnut was there. So, and then Scott is the first one in line for those glizzies.
Here's a good question for you, man.
Here's my favorite. One time, Pastor Bucky came out and he said he had hot dogs. He said, "Hey, would you like a hot dog?" And Scotty goes, "Sure." Like he wasn't going to. I mean, if you're asking.
Here's a question for the room. Do you look forward to the handshake or the hot dog?
Depends how the handshake is. Depends on the grip. Actually, they're 2 and 1 depending on what locker room you're in. Shout out Mike Hay. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Hard Way Wrestling. Today, we talked about this the other day. We had they had a Yahoo Power Rankings list, and we took a serious poo. Sirius McMahon all over it. So today the other day we did the women's power rankings, and today we're going to do the men's power ranking list. Boys, you got your list?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So Scotty, now hopefully, unlike T-Bone just like He is a artist. He did not write the names in order. He just threw them on the canvas, and we had to figure out what was what. He wrote his name at the top of the list, and he thought that was part of the power ranking. So, unlike T-Bone, hopefully everybody has theirs in order from 10 to 1. Scotty, we're going to allow you go first. Who is number 10 on Scotty's power rank list?
All right, number 10, because he is a big up-and-comer. He moves the needle, and he is someone that will be, again, in my view, is going to continue to move the needle all the way up. Joe Hendry. We say his name. We say his name.
Cross? Got it. Joe Hendry. All right. I mean, that's a good number 10. It's a good number 10. Rick?
Number 10, armbar. Sorry, wrong list.
You guys are going to be so disappointed when you get to my number 10.
I got that. Oh my god!
It took me about 3 seconds to realize.
Yeah. Oh
So-
gosh, that's funny.
My only AEW.
Do you want to explain to people what that's from?
Yeah, please.
It's from one of the greatest promos of all time when Chris Jericho back at WCW said he knows more holds than the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko. So he has this long list of paper that's dangling on the ring mat, and he starts calling off wrestling moves. It actually goes into commercial break and comes back, and he's still reading off names, but he says armbar about 10 times through that whole list, just in random spots.
Love it. Jericho, legend, used to be.
So, speaking of Jericho, one of his guys in AEW, one of his rivals is my number 10. It would be the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, and because he is the World Champion, is the only reason I am putting him on this list.
Okay.
And this was a fucking stretch for me to do it.
Well, okay. Frost. Listen, when you say Jon Moxley moves a needle, all I hear is a scratching noise. That's
Yeah.
that's what I hear.
Nails across the chalkboard.
Jesus.
Right across the record. My number 10 is actually Chris Jericho.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I mean, there's still that nostalgia, right? Yeah, he's going through a rough time right now, but people do watch just because he's Chris Jericho.
What people?
And I do from time to time.
Okay, you're the people.
Yep, I'm the people. I'm those people.
As someone who moves a needle in the wrong way, yes, Chris Jericho definitely should be on the power ranking list. I mean, he is Chris Jericho. He is Chris Jericho. As much as he's not doing great stuff
Hold
right
on a
now.
minute. Does that say T-Bone at the top of that list? Hold on.
It's
Got the
upside
wrong
down.
list.
It's upside down. That's the women's list. Chris Jericho is someone who, again, going through a rough time right now, but has always done good stuff, has reinvented himself more than anybody that I can imagine in wrestling. And just because his reinventions lately have not been great, it's hard to like him. I still like
I
Chris
was
Jericho.
there the night that he beat Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night.
Yeah.
I was watching that night.
Watching.
And I'll never forget it because my friend was a huge Rock fan.
Gotcha.
And just, we didn't talk for a week.
All right. Well, my number 10 is a guy who just showed up in NXT. And boy, did he just look amazing in his first match out. It was a tag team match, but whatever. It was a tag team match. The fans love him. When this guy makes it to the main roster, it is going to be something to talk about. Ricky Saints is my number 10. And he would have been a lot higher if he would have been around longer. But Ricky Saints, my number 10. All right, Scotty, give us your number 9.
Number 9, and sadly, even though he still moves the needle, he's low on my list because they haven't been using him in good feuds recently. But he'll probably, like, by next year, if we decide to do this ranking again,
every 2 weeks we're gonna do this ranking,
or maybe in 2 weeks we'll redo it.
Okay.
My number 9 is L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right, that's not bad. I mean, he's still very relevant. Uh, y- he's one of those. He's got that catchphrase. Everybody
Yeah.
says it, no matter what. That's the thing to do in wrestling. If you can come up with a catchphrase, you're relevant for the rest of your life. Except for Chris Jericho, if he would come back out and come out with another list, would be my
No.
number. Would be my number one. Frosty, who is your number 9?
Braun Breaker,
Okay.
Okay.
a guy who is moving the needle.
Yes. Moving, yes.
I mean, here's the thing: they're not. He's kind of shown what he can do, and he seems kind of one-dimensional right now. But I feel like there's more that they can do with him, and I think in the future we're going to see more of him. As long
I
as he
agree.
doesn't do something outside the ring that's stupid.
I agree. Ricky?
Give me Obafemi, NXT World Champion.
Or Moose. Extra
He
large
looks
Moose.
gold.
Extra large Moose. I'm going to agree with you. My number 9 is Obafemi, the NXT Heavyweight Champion. This guy's a star.
Yeah.
This guy is an absolute star. And it solidified it the other night when I saw Moose, who's been around wrestling for a very long time, TNA. I don't know that he's been anywhere else but TNA. But when
Was
he
he in Ring of Honor?
I don't think so. I don't remember him in Ring of Honor. But I know when he walked out and then he stood beside Obafemi, forget about it. Obafemi is a monster. And Moose is a big boy. Obafemi is a monster. Number 9 on my list, heavyweight champion for NXT. Obafemi. All right. Back to Frosty again. Frosty, give us your number 8.
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Yeah. Go ahead. CM Punk is your number 8. That's not low for CM Punk.
I got some
Why
pretty
do
good
you hate
names above
CM
it.
Punk?
Like I say, another guy that's just on TV every week, in the mix, hopefully going to WrestleMania. So right now he's kind of low on the list. If he goes to WrestleMania, we'll put him higher on the list.
He'll
Okay.
be at WrestleMania as long as he doesn't tear his.
Well, that's the part
Anything.
I'm worried about.
Anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope
Goes
that-
out there and Shane McMahon's in the middle of the elimination chamber.
we don't want him. We don't want him to tear his labia. Ricky, give us your number 8.
I'm gonna go with Braun Breaker,
Okay.
current IC champion.
All right.
Man is a freaking beast.
Okay. Scotty.
My number 8, Logan Paul.
Okay.
Guy is doing some good work right now. He's a good heel. Again, they haven't he's been in and out, but he still moves the needle, and people love to hate him. And I guarantee you they're gonna tune in to see what he like. They're gonna see what kind of crazy stunts he's gonna pull in the chamber, but they're gonna see what kind of feuds comes out of the chamber with him and who he goes up against. So.
Gotcha.
And who's going to be the one to shut Logan Paul up finally? So yeah.
Logan Paul did not make my list.
Ooh. Okay.
Number 8 for me is I believe in him. I mean, I just believe in Joe Hendry as number 8. I just wave your hands. I think everything he does is great. It's gold. But to me, Joe Hendry is low on that list because he's just plain to me. Like there's nothing like he puts great vignettes together. I think if he does more stuff with Elias or Elijah, who is now in TNA, that would bring him down. Joe Hendry's good, but he's not good enough to be in the top 5 for me. And unless something changes, I don't know. He's okay.
They did it wrong. They signed the wrong guy. They got to get Ezekiel.
Ezekiel is the man.
Yeah.
Ezekiel is the man. I need to go back and look at that. Are we sure Ezekiel was in LA Knight? Look at them. They're built the same. All right. Ricky, give me your number 7.
He was your number 8, I believe.
Okay. Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry. He is over. He has been over. When he showed up at NXT, blew the fucking roof off that place. Showed up at the Royal Rumble, same thing.
He's a
And
phenomenal.
The TNA struck while the iron was hot. They put the world title on him.
That's the big thing that some of these companies are starting to do, and I don't want to say starting to because who knows what's going to be next week with TNA. But to have the forethought to do that now while he's like the hottest fucking thing ever, and not do what Vince used to do and wait till their run was over and then put the strap on them. I think it makes sense. Hit them while they're hot. Sell all their shirts, his plain blue shirts with the white lettering. Sell all his gimmicks out now while he is hot. Scotty.
Number 7 for me, Braun Breaker.
Okay.
He's doing amazing work right now. Again, a little like Frosty said, a little kind of bland, but they've got a lot more they can get out of him. So, and again, he's a good IC champion. So,
Gotcha. Frost.
Right in the mix with everybody else, Logan Paul.
Okay. I feel like Logan Paul had. I don't know.
He hasn't been back long enough, really.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a full-time guy, in and out. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. The book.
He brings a different set of eyes on wrestling, I believe.
yeah.
That whole YouTube baloney.
Yes, yeah, he's an influencer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think he is a good wrestler when he works on his matches before he has the matches. But to have an impromptu match, which we've seen, not the greatest. So again, he is missing that element. Well, I mean, but he's missing that element of experience when it comes to wrestling. So, my number 7 is also Braun Breaker. I know they've quoted him off kind of here lately. I liked all the stuff he was doing with Sheamus. Love Sheamus, by the way. Didn't make my list, but love Sheamus. But I think bigger things
like Sheamus or burger after burger after burger.
I like Chubby Sheamus.
He made my list.
He made your list.
Yeah. The whiteness.
Is that I thought that was cellulite you were pointing at. I think there's so many big players right now that they're being smart by not pushing him and getting him lost in the mix with everybody else. So I think Braun Breaker is definitely will be in that top 2 or 3 here in a year or 2 years, maybe. So my number 7, Braun Breaker. Scotty, give me your number 6. 6.
Number 6, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Yeah. The guy is.
I love you, Frosty.
Yeah, the guy is a freak of nature, and again, he's still kind of caught up in the bloodline stuff with Solo and stuff like that. But when he does move the needle when it comes to his matches, again, he's like people want to see what he's going to do, and when they give him a real feud to go into with someone, it's going to be phenomenal. So.
Ricky?
My number 6. Armbar. No. So 1 through 6 is like
all Christian.
A WWE jumble here. I mean, you could put any of these guys almost anywhere on this. But from here on out, you're getting basically the top guys of WWE left on my list. My number 6 is going to be Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
He's been doing excellent heel work. He's cooled off a little bit recently, but I think some more good things are going to start happening here as we're getting into the chamber.
Gotcha. Frosty?
Number 6, I believe. Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry. Another figure. Joe Hendry's on everybody's list. I like this. My number 6 is also the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. I don't think he'll ever be in the top 5. I don't know how long he's going to stay in the top 10 because the whole bloodline thing is a little wonky right now. I don't know if they know what they're doing with the bloodline. Again, a lot of major players going on right now with the Elimination Chamber and that kind of stuff. So he is right outside of those guys. But Again, Jacob Fatu on the rise. We love Jacob Fatu.
I need to talk to you, Solo.
One day he will. One day there will be an hula hoop follow around his neck. So.
Hula hoop
number
falling on the ground. What?
Number 5, Frosty. Give me your number 5.
MJF.
Okay. Why MJF?
Well, when you hear when you hear AEW, you always think of MJF anyway.
Okay.
You know, he's probably one of their top talents. I mean, maybe they're not using him right now at all, but definitely one of their more serious talents. You know, he can talk. Just if he could watch his mouth a little bit, obviously make it more TV ratings, or rated G for everybody. But yeah, as far as their talent on screen, he's probably the best one they have right now.
Okay. Rick?
It's very. That's the only like. I feel like my list is strictly WWE, and I only put Moxley on there because he is the world champion over there. And I think MJF, they haven't done enough with him for me to put him on my list. Even though he is probably one of their top guys.
Yep.
So
top guy out.
Yeah, getting into my top 5, one of the top guys, CM Punk.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. CM Punk.
I mean, he's right in the middle of the mix with everybody. He's still a big, huge fan favorite. So got to put him in there.
Scotty.
My number 5, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Ooh, at 5. I can't wait to see your number 1, Tiffany Stratton.
Nia Jax. What are you?
No,
Jax.
no, it's
the refrigerator.
Nia Jax is whole.
That's number 2.
No, number 2.
Nobody gonna see what you did there.
Nah, number 1 is Nia Jax chair shot. Why do you hate Cody Rhodes?
I don't hate him. It's just like, you know, we talk about some of these guys being cooled off, and Cody is, you know, again, we're looking at possibility of Cody heel turn here, so that, you know, we'll definitely pick him up in the list for a little bit later on. But like right now, he's kind of cooled off. He's still a good champion, but he's not, in my view. He's kind of, you know, he's still in my top 5, but he just is kind of hit number 5 at this point. So he's just kind of, he's like, we're going into a year with him being the champion. So it's kind of like, it was great when he first started. It's kind of leveled off and it's kind of started to go slightly downhill. So, but he still moves the needle. I mean, good grief, that entrance, and, you know, everybody still loves him, but he's kind of gone down on my list a little bit.
Such as being a champion. Once she gets to the top, where do you go? You can only go one place once you get to the top.
That's true. That is true.
Okay. Well, I was going to make a comment, but I'm not going to. I have 0 AEW people on my list. Not one. Not one. And
hater.
Again, I'm not so much a hater. I just think MJF. I agree. MJF is a top guy in that company, but they're doing absolute shit with him. They're trying to put him in a program with, you know, Jeff Jarrett. Come on, right? Who's he in a program with now?
Hangman.
Right. I like what Hangman is doing right now. Hangman is good, but does he move the needle in real life? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Prince Nana moves the needle more than any of those other guys do. So, my number 5 is
who?
What? Number 5. Put up the ones. Roman Reigns. Now he's out right now. He's not around, but he's still, when his music hits, boom, he's right. Like, they're back into it. Roman has done such good work over the years, being the heavyweight champion for what was it, 1,500 plus days or whatever it was. Is that what it was? What was it?
It was like, he didn't break Hogan's record.
No.
So it was like 1,000 something.
Okay.
I want to say.
So
bring up the perfect concometer.
Roman Reigns is at that place that he is such a big star and a top 10 guy, regardless, even if he's not there. So my number 5 pick, Roman Reigns. Frosty, give me your 4.
Dominic Mysterio.
Dum Dum. Dirty
Dum
Dum
Dum.
Dum. He did not make my list.
Yeah, because nobody ever thinks
Yeah.
of him.
No, I thought
Who's got-
about him. Believe me,
yeah,
I
who's
have
got-
a ton of.
Who's
I
got
have
more
a-
heat? Who's got more heat? Dirty Dom.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you
He's
on that.
tagging the girlfriend
there's
that you
just-
wish you could have, obviously.
True.
There's just
He's got a
too
great mullet.
there's
That's
just too many awesome like guys in WWE right now that just are slightly higher than
You're
He-
just
Dom.
lucky that Dom Dom isn't in the Elimination Chamber, because if he was,
It is
you're
hard
looking
to.
at WrestleMania.
He is so hated. It's hard to hate him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
that's-
You love him regardless.
Once you hit a level of hate that bad, they
Yes.
start liking you, but they
Yes.
still want to boo you.
Absolutely, John Cena, Kurt Angle, you name it.
hmm
You know, they're just. He's gonna get in the ring after being booed and be like, "Oh gosh, shucks, guys, thanks." Ricky, 4.
Number 4, Seth freaking Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins. Okay, why?
Another one of the very popular top guys. Everybody sings his song. I mean, he's been a top guy in that company for years now. Everything he says when he comes out there,
Yeah.
he's been the one that carried WWE on his back while CM Punk was off getting his ass whipped in MMA and trying to right AEW ship.
Okay, all right, Scotty.
My number 4, I agree with Frosty. Dirty Dom Mysterio.
Dirty Tom.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Dom Dom.
all right.
You're gonna hate my number 3.
Number 4 to me is former AEW Tag Team Champion, former AEW everything, Penta. New to the company. They're trotting him out there every show. They want him in front of every arena. They want to show they are there to prove a point with Penta. AEW have fumbled the ball so many times now, and we just got it the other night with Ricky Saints about the crowd chanting Ricky
Tony
Tony
fumbled.
right. So we know what the WWE is trying to do to AEW right now. We know what they're doing. They're working the indies super hard.
Teabagging him.
They're cutting the indies. They're cutting their throats in the indies. They're smashing them. They're taking their own people. They bring in Ethan Page. They put the heavyweight title on him for NXT. You know, they bring Naomi. Or actually, she wasn't AEW. They were pissed off at TNA at the time. They bring Naomi in. They are proving a point with all these AEW guys. And Penta looks amazing, works amazing. You can't not like the guy. And if you hear him in an interview, he's great. Like, he's just great. He's great. So I heard him the other day. They asked him 5 questions or whatever, and it was like, okay, who's got the best entrance? He goes, me. Who's got the best catchphrase? Me. Like, it was great. It was a great interview. So anyway, Penta my number 4. Ricky, who is your number 3? Top 3.
The World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther.
Ring out.
Love Gunther. He's been doing his promos lately have been just monstrous heel work. It reminds me of what Drew McIntyre has been doing for quite a while now.
No
Yeah.
filter. I mean, not there's no filter, but there's no reins. It's like no don't up your ones. They're letting them be who they are.
Yes.
That's one thing Triple H is doing. He's letting these guys be who they are. He's not trying to handcuff them. He's not, telling them you can't do this. You can't say ambulance. You can't say medical. You got to say medical facility. Like, he's letting them work. So
Yes.
Gunther.
He's also teabagging his father-in-law.
What?
I
Huh?
say he's also teabagging his father-in-law.
I'm
Who?
confused.
He's basically going against every one of Vince's terms.
Oh, you're talking Triple H.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. All right, Scotty.
My number 3 is Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
He stays higher on the list for me. Yes, he has been cooled off a little bit, but he's still in the mix with everybody. We just talked about on our last podcast where we talked about the Elimination Chamber, where Drew is tied. Like a lot of these guys are tied into everything with each other, but Drew especially is tied into a lot of different stuff with a lot of different people. No matter, like, yes, they can cool him off a little bit, but it doesn't affect who he is and how he draws. And he's been doing some of the best work over the last couple years. So Drew is my number 3.
Gotcha. Frosty?
My number 3 is R-Truth. This man is a national treasure.
Even R-Truth ended up in the wrong list. You should have put him on we should have put him on the women's list. That's what you should have put him on. I agree. I don't know if he moves the needle, but I agree. I mean,
he's entertaining, man. He comes up with the wildest crap on the planet and just rolls with it.
Yeah, the other night he tags Miz when he's his opponent, and
Yeah.
Miz is like, "What are you doing?"
I
And he
love
counted to 3.
And Carmelo tried to kick out of himself.
Yeah.
that. Was it what was that WrestleMania where he wanted the hot tag? Well, he was
That was
with
Royal Rumble the year before.
when he was with the
Yeah.
Judgment Day, or he thought he was with the Judgment Day, and
That was last year's Royal Rumble.
he was trying to get the
Yeah.
hot tag from
Dom.
Yeah.
Dom. So they were like, "What are you doing?" So anyway, my number 3 is someone who makes sense. CM Punk is my number 3. Again, he's mixed. He's in the mix with every single person. He's got us, and it's smart. It's actually genius. You get mixed up with every single person. You can always have a story to go to, one right after another. CM Punk, again, another guy from AEW that is here in WWE to prove a point, right? He got labeled this piece of shit. They couldn't get along with anybody in the locker room. I tore him down. Ricky tore him down. I don't know about Frosty, except for Scotty. Scotty, unlike Google Play, loves CM Punk all the way through. And I think CM Punk is still on that Go Fuck Yourself tour of AEW, and he wants to make sure that he is in the mix. So CM Punk for me. Number 2, Scotty.
Number 2 is the guy you put at number 3. My number 2 is CM Punk.
Gotcha.
So just exactly for the reasons you just said. Punk he's in the mix. He's, when you stay in that mix with everybody, again, there's always something for him to go to. I love it. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with him next. So,
Rick.
The American Nightmare.
Okay. I can't wait to hear everybody's number 1.
I already know who's not Scotty's number 1.
Oh, well. I think Cody Rhodes. Cody's at 5. All right. So
we already knew his number 2 is not Jack's hole. So
or the chair shot. Frosty, give me your number 2.
my number 2 is the son of a plumber,
No,
Cody Rhodes.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Do you guys want to speculate? You want to go any further with that? Why did you put him at number? Why did you put the undisputed champion at number 2?
You'll see when I give my number 1.
Okay, yeah, there we go. So, guess who didn't make my list?
Who?
That guy.
Cody Rhodes.
Anyway, no, number 2 for me is the Ring General Gunther. I think since they brought him up, he has been in the main event of almost everything, and there's a reason. Gunther is great. I like Chubby Gunther better, obviously.
Walter. You like Walter.
Walter, we like Fat Walter. One of the most devastating chops in the WWE. Anyone, yes, asked Tozawa, who's still trying to dig his fingernails out of his chest. He has just progressively gotten better every month to month. He went from this quiet guy that just kind of talked to a guy who is now not quiet and is talking and makes total sense in everything he says, and without shitting on you, he shits on you. And I love a
Yes.
good fucking promo. I love a good heel that can tear you to pieces. When he called Damian Priest street trash, I was like, he's right. He's
On the
right. The
nose.
guy lived in his car. The guy was street trash. So anyway, Gunther, number 2 for me. All right. I'm in the fucking minority here with this number 1. I can already see this coming now, but let's go ahead. Ricky, give me your number 1.
Already did.
Yeet.
Guys,
Jay.
he is when that guy comes out and they have to do the Yeet play a song for 15 straight minutes before they can even do anything. This motherfucker is over. The only thing he's not really good at is his promos. His wrestling is questionable, but this guy
You
is
don't
the
believe in me.
This guy is one of
You
the
don't
hottest
believe
things
in me.
they've got going, and again they're gonna strike while the iron's hot and put that belt on him at Mania.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Rob?
Hold on, I'm looking for a pan to flash in.
Wait a minute. I got you.
My number 1, yeah, my number 1 is Gunther,
Okay, Gunther. Gotcha.
the
Okay.
Ring General, the guy who's most serious, and like you said, most serious and shits on you without shitting on you.
Yep.
Great. I love it. Scotty?
Same thing with Frosty. My number 1 is the Ring General Gunther. So
Wow.
again, for
Put your-
every
you can put your boner away now, Scotty.
This will be 3 people.
I heard Nijax.
This has been 3 people that does not have Jay Uso on their list.
So I last minute changed my list because my original number 1 was Hulk Hogan. He got booed. I'm just kidding.
It's nothing against Jay Uso, but it is, right?
yeah.
I think everything is great about Jay Uso, right? His promos are getting better, right? He's like everybody else. He repeats the same shit. You don't believe in me, and this guy don't believe in me, and this guy don't believe in me, right? He's playing that whole the underdog guy. His entrance, number 1 in wrestling right now, number 1. But at some point, the bell rings. And I think that is where Jay Uso is not the greatest. I think his in-ring is not the greatest at times. Most of the time, they proved it at WrestleMania with the super kick party that they had for 8 minutes. 37 super kicks later. What did we set the line at? Like 25, and it was fucking over. So
2.5 minutes it was over.
Again, love Jay Uso, but eventually the bell's got to ring. And I believe, and I agree with you, they're going to put this title on Jay Uso at Mania. But I believe they're going to realize that what a fucking mistake they did by putting this belt on him. Because he is one guy that absolutely needs 0 belt. But at some point, you got to do something with the guy because they buried him all the time. Every big match, he loses for good reason. Because everybody he wrestles is a better wrestler than he is. So anyway, that's why I didn't put Jay on my list. My
Your
number 1
is Sonny Kiss. I know.
it is Yambag Jones. Yambag Jones is my number 1. No, my number 1 is the face of the company. Probably the number 2 entrance in the WWE.
Triple H.
Number 3 then. Cody Rhodes. I think Cody is not only is he a great wrestler, right? The son of a plumber. He is a great wrestler.
Very dashing.
He's very dashing. I love mustache Cody Rhodes. I think
dashing Cody Rhodes was amazing.
If he could bring that mustache back and not take away from that gaudy neck tattoo, I would be awesome. But I think not only Cody is a good wrestler, he's a good ambassador for WWE. The guy's an actor. The guy's facial expressions when he goes from one emotion to another, he's always on the verge of crying, and I think that's real. By the way, I think anytime somebody brings up his dad, his bottom lip. His chin runs right up into his. So I think Brandy's right there on the same level as Jey Uso, by the way, wrestling wise. We're gonna put her. I put her above Jey. But I just think that there's nothing you can do or say about Cody Rhodes that can shit on him. He's good. He's all around a good wrestler. The company, he is the man. He is the fucking man. In my eyes,
They made the right investment.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think I heard today that in his contract that he was never to do Stardust.
Yeah.
I think he didn't want to come back and them go, because how Vince is like run out of ideas. Well, we'll put the guy back in the fucking gear.
Yeah.
So
No.
Anyway, that's it for our top. That's it for our power rankings for the guys. Check out all the other videos that we have. We just did a review of Elimination Chamber. That is up actually right now. Go check that out if you haven't picked up your picks. Actually, by the time this drops, Elimination Chamber will be over, and most likely, and CM Punk will have won it. So there's congratulations, CM Punk, for winning. Just me. Okay. Anyway,
John Cena will win it, and I'll have to put him on my next power ranking.
that you put him.
You're all wrong. It's Roman Reigns.
It's gonna be Roman. That's right. It's gonna be Roman or Sonny Kiss. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.
On the hard way.
Peace.
Armbar!
You just made the list.